Hey friends, welcome to the Friday Drive. Tim here. I'm so excited to share today's content with you. I'll just get right to it because there's a lot here. Listen, as leaders, one of the biggest things we can do, first of all, leadership is measured in influence. It's measured in the ability to move a person from here to here. If you want to know if somebody's an actual leader, you got to look at who's following them. You got to see, are people actually going in the direction they want them to go? Okay, so as a leader, there are kind of three critical things that are tied up to casting vision that we want to make sure that we get across as we're doing it, okay? And so the first thing is painting the picture of the future, okay? Paint the picture of where you want people to go. This is vision casting, okay? This is a thing that says we will be a $10 million company in the next 5 years, okay? That's a vision casting moment. It will be, we will gain 20 new subscribers to our business, or we will land 5 new clients in the next, whatever it is. Okay, but the goals are very clear, they're very measurable, and they've got to sit in sort of a visionary category. So you as the leader can constantly bring that up with large groups, but also in one-on-one meetings that you have with those folks, okay? This is what we call casting vision, and that's the first step to all of this. As a leader, we've got to be able to do that, okay? Secondly is, are we consistent in it? Okay, so the second thing is we've got the vision, we got the goals, we know what we're going after. Now, how do we consistently let it leak, let it drip out to our staff, to our team, to those we lead, to our family, whatever that is, so that it's a constant thing that we're kind of moving forward in on a regular basis. So are you consistent with it? It can't be a one-time shot and then we don't ever talk about it again. And then 6 months later we're going, hey, why aren't we where we need to be, right? We have to consistently find mechanisms to release that vision over time to say, don't forget what we're doing here. Don't forget what we're after here. Don't forget what we kind of agreed to as we were leaning into this. And the staff can kind of get behind that. You get enrollment and you get people excited for where the business is going, okay? Third, and this is the one people forget the most often, okay? And I can't emphasize this enough. Celebrate when you hit a milestone. Celebrate when you hit a marker. I don't know what celebration looks like for you and your organization. Maybe it's a gong that sits in the hallway that when we land that big client, somebody gets on there and they bang the gong and everybody huddles up in the hallway and we announce that we just landed the big fish, right? It could be that. It could be, we get to the end of our 6 months of whatever it is, we look at our list of things that we set out to do, and we've gotten all 5 of them, okay? Well, are we having a dinner? Are we having a lunch? Are we calling anybody out in a good way to say, hey, they were instrumental in making this happen? The reason that companies forget to do the celebration portion of these 3 things is because of time, okay? And a lot of times, as we're consistently going after those things and we feel like we reach them, the very first thing we want to do is we want to go, okay, let's set another goal. Instead of pausing for a minute and letting everybody know that, hey, look what we did together. Look what we did together. There's something very important about that because if you set another goal before you've celebrated, a lot of times what will happen is those folks will go, well, why are we going after these goals? Like there's no recognition, there's no celebration. We didn't even acknowledge that we hit all the goals from the previous period of time that we set these things. And so they kind of get disenfranchised, they get a little disenchanted. However, if you celebrate them, if you celebrate with them the accomplishments of what we've done together, then when you set the next goal, everybody's dialed in on it because they're really, really excited about what's happening, okay? So that's the big thing I want to tell you about it. So remember, the 3 phases are cast the vision, be consistent in casting that vision throughout the period of time that you're going after these things, and then third is make sure you celebrate, okay? So let's do these 3 things. Let's make sure we take care of our people as we go through, okay? Now, what's going on at 5 Capitals? Man, we are on a speaking tour. There's all of us are out speaking in different areas and doing a lot of things. But one of the things that we're doing while we're on the road is a lot of times we do strategic planning for our clients. This kind of relates to what we just talked about is if you're having trouble setting goals, if you're having trouble setting up vision, values, purpose, and then the measurable KPIs that define what success looks like to your company. Or you're having trouble defining who your target audience is, or what's the menu of products you're going to offer, or what's the geography you're going to serve, things like that. Or you're trying to figure out what are the 3 to 5 focus areas that we need to be really dialed in on to reach those goals on that playing field we just described. If that's you and you're a leader, then bring us in for a strategic planning intensive. All right, this is something that we've been doing at Five Capitals for about 1.5 years now, and it has revolutionized the way that our clients go after the things that they're trying to achieve, okay? So if you want to get more information on that, I've got a landing page at the bottom of the email. You can get in, read about it, find out what it is, and certainly let us know if that's something you are interested in to do with your team, okay? And then lastly, I've got a podcast. It's from, again, Andy Stanley, because you know I'm a huge fan of some of the things that they do. And what's really interesting about that is it relates to the strategic planning that I just described, okay? It's an interview with the CEO of Popeyes Fried Chicken, and I think it's fascinating. They went through 5 CEOs in 7 years, and Cheryl, the woman who is being interviewed in this, actually is the CEO, came and turned things around. And if you're a leader, you can learn a ton from the way that she did this, casting vision, being consistent in that vision, and celebrating people along the way, in addition to really affecting change in the organization. And their share grew tremendously, and she just did a phenomenal job. So take a listen to that. It's about a 16-minute listen, and I would love any feedback that you guys have on that. So enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys next week on our coaching calls.